Hi, my name is Schiavon, and today I'll be discussing and providing a presentation on the social licensing issues surrounding Omicron crops, being a farming enterprise called Murray-Darling Cocoa Farms. Specifically, I'll be discussing how Murray-Darling Cocoa Farms will generate, establish, and sustain a social license to operate from various New South Wales state-level environmentalist groups. Omicron Crops plans upon expanding their business by the establishment of a cotton and canola farm located in the Liverpool Plains region of New South Wales. The farm will be established upon a 3,000 hectare property that lies adjacent to the Naomi River within the Northwest Slopes area of New South Wales. The region has a black soil renowned for its productivity and fertility, making it a good choice for a farming enterprise. The farm will be located around 10 kilometres from a local town called Epsilon, which is a small town consisting of a population of around 2,500 people. The business will begin operation with a permanent workforce of 15 members. 10 of these will be sourced from another Omicron farming enterprise located in Queensland. Murray-Darling Cocoa Farms will be utilising the Naomi River to ensure that irrigation requirements of the crops are met and sustained. The introduction of the Murray-Darling Cocoa Farm will bring a wide variety of positive influences and effects to the local community of Epsilon through the generation of jobs and income that will flow throughout the community. The farm is a part of a well-established Omicron crops business, providing a solid and stable base for the farming system, providing reassurances to the success of the business. Both the cotton and canola industries are also well established and significantly important industries of the Australian agricultural sector, as well as being an excellent cropping choice for the region. Throughout Australia, there are numerous environmentalist groups working to achieve environmental sustainability. Environmentalist groups are able to impact businesses through their ability to either provide social license to operate of a business's or industry's actions, or by their ability to revoke that acceptance, which lowers the social license to operate of the revoked business or industry. Ensuring that a social license to operate is earned from the environmentalist groups of New South Wales is essential for Murray-Darling Cocoa Farms, as the business will be relying significantly upon using natural environmental resources for the business operations. In order for a business to become established and begin operations efficiently, it is vital that social license to operate is achieved by the business. Defined, a social license to operate is the level of acceptance given to a business and its operations by the local public, community, any stakeholders of the business, and anyone that may be influenced by the business's actions. Any operations or actions taken by the business will be felt throughout the surrounding community as well as the environment in various ways, and as such it is essential that businesses understand how their actions may influence others. A social license to operate is generated by working with the community, involving them to provide understanding and reasoning for the business's actions. By conducting operations in a safe, low-impactful, efficient, and sustainable way, businesses can gain acceptance from influenced parties. Generating acceptance or social license to operate is essential for businesses to do, as it creates an environment benefiting both the business and its stakeholders, allowing for easier and more fluid operations. Achieving a high level of social license is also rewarded through being able to obtain operational permits and licenses easier. For Murray-Darling Cocoa Farms to ensure it is successful and sustainable, it must work to generate a social license to operate through showing that not only the best interests for the business are in mind, but also that of anyone affected by the business's actions, including the environment. Murray-Darling Cocoa Farms will have numerous activities in both the preparation phases and the business operational activities that will affect the surrounding environment, and as such are concerned the environmentalist groups. Preparation activities of the farm will involve the necessary clearing of around 350 hectares of native vegetation. This vegetation will be cleared in order for business infrastructure and access roads to be constructed on the property. These are necessary features in order for the business to operate efficiently and sustainably. Once preparation activities have been completed, the business will begin operating as a cotton and canola farming enterprise. The production of canola and cotton on the farm will introduce a number of activities that will actively affect the surrounding environment, and therefore will be under close scrutiny of environmentalist groups. Activities and operations necessary for farming includes the activities of growing, maintaining, harvesting, and processing the products. In order for the crop to be grown effectively, inputs such as irrigation, fertilizer, and chemical controls will be needed. Irrigation is going to rely upon the usage of the local Naomi River. Issues that relate to irrigation usage relate to both water pollution and water misuse or misconduct. Fertilizer inputs are necessary in order to grow and maintain a productive crop and can generate issues related to fertilizer leaching and eutrophication of nearby water systems. The use of chemical control generates a wide range of potential issues, ranging from chemical misuse to chemical spray drift. For the business to be successful, the New South Wales state-level environmentalist groups must be satisfied that the activities and operations being undertaken by Murray-Darling Cocoa Farms are acceptable. By satisfying the stakeholders' social licence requirements, Murray-Darling Cocoa Farms will ensure that the business is able to grow and expand unhindered by environmentalist groups in New South Wales. New South Wales alone has a significant number of environmental conservation groups, with the majority of the groups being based out of Sydney. In order to satisfy the environmentalist groups, the business must conduct itself in a manner that minimises or compensates environmental damage where possible. The essential clearing of native vegetation will be undertaken in a legal and necessary manner, limiting unnecessary environmental damage as well as avoiding damaging any endangered species. Clearing will be undertaken strictly adhering to the Conservation Act of 2016 as well as the Local Land Services Act of 2013, with the assistance of traditional landowners who will offer insight and information regarding the native fauna and flora. In regard to water usage and potential social licensing issues related to the use of natural water resources, Murray-Darling Cocoa Farms will be utilising this water resource with the intention of only using what is necessary and limiting any pollutant effects. Over 9,200 businesses are already utilising the primary source of the Naomi River, and as such, Murray-Darling Cocoa Farms will be operating with water conservation, purity, and sustainability in mind. Adherence to water policies and restrictions such as the Murray-Darling Basin Plan and the sustainable diversion limits outlined within this document will be strictly followed by the business. There is also a Naomi Alluvium Water Resource Plan that's been developed by the New South Wales Department of Planning, Industry and Environment that will be followed. The business will work to minimise and eliminate any forms of water pollutant effects it may have upon water sources. Fertiliser inputs will be closely monitored, ensuring that only appropriate amounts of fertiliser are being applied. Any leaching or eutrophication effects from fertiliser application will be minimised and eliminated, ensuring that fertiliser operations are sustainable to the surrounding environment. Chemical control will be limited to a vital or essential spray program. Murray-Darling Cocoa Farms will be following the strict industry guidelines, such as the Pesticide Regulations of 2017, as well as the Pesticide Act of 1999. Spraying will be conducted only at times where there is a minimal potential for chemical drift and be conducted by competent and trained employees. Windbreaks will be established around cropping regions, generating a physical barrier against chemical drift, limiting external environmental damage. Waste generated by the business will be managed with the best interest of the local community and environment in mind. The company's R&D waste management strategy will include the minimisation of waste produced by farming activities, appropriate disposal of waste products, and where possible, recycling agricultural wastes which are not harmful to humans, animals, plants, or the environment. It is essential that actions of the company are undertaken transparently with environmental, sustainability and protection in mind. The business will be introducing a system where it will be funding the planting of 10 trees per hectare cleared in an attempt to recuperate and compensate for the necessary land clearing that is going to be undertaken. Engagement of environmental stakeholders will be undertaken in a number of ways. Firstly, the business will be hosting a number of open days and regular meetings. These open days and meetings will be utilised in order to provide the public and environmental stakeholders with information surrounding the business operations and how the business will be working to minimise any external effects they may have. Stakeholders are encouraged to voice and express any concerns or issues they currently have or may see arising in the future at these open days and meetings. Working or collaborating with environmental stakeholders as well as conservation groups will be undertaken in order for both parties to brainstorm ideas about minimising environmental footprint of Murray-Darling Cocoa Farms. The Nature Conservation Council of New South Wales works with a huge number of environmentalist groups in New South Wales. By openly discussing business operations and plans with the Nature Conservation Council, as well as environmental stakeholders, the expectations of these conservation groups can be outlined and planned around in order to satisfy these needs. The business will be generating yearly surveys that any stakeholders will be able to complete, providing information to Murray-Darling Cocoa Farms about how their actions are being perceived within the local community and environmental communities. These surveys will be provided to the Nature Conservation Council of New South Wales in order to provide environmental stakeholders an opportunity to provide feedback and inputs of the business's operations. Surveys will have various contact information on them, such as an open call line and email addresses where complaints or suggestions can be provided to the business for consideration. The public will be encouraged to report any forms of pollution, such as any cases of eutrophication to the business, so that business operations can be adjusted in order to minimise environmental effects. Through openly collaborating and communicating with environmental stakeholders, information surrounding the business operations of Murray-Darling Cocoa Farms will be generated. This information will be used to create goals and action plans that will be worked towards to meet the stakeholders and community's expectations that they have outlined. Ensuring that all concerns and expectations are taken seriously and discussed not only within the business but with relevant stakeholders is essential in order to minimise any environmental concerns facing the business. Overall, Murray-Darling Cocoa Farms will be working closely with the state-level environmental stakeholder groups in order to generate a high level of social licence to operate, as well as sustainability. Communicating and collaborating closely with these stakeholders is vitally important to the business and will be established as a high priority. Engagement with stakeholders and responding to their expectations will ensure that Murray-Darling Cocoa Farms will achieve a high level of social licence to operate relevant to these environmental stakeholders. Thank you for listening. I hope I've outlined how the business will be managing and generating a social licence to operate from environmental stakeholders of New South Wales. Here are my references. You.